The Whispering Forest. It was the middle of October, the air crisp with the smell of fallen leaves. Emily and her friends, Jake and Sarah, had decided to go on a late-night hike through the Whispering Forest, a place surrounded by rumors and old legends. The townsfolk claimed the forest was alive, that it spoke to those who entered. Most people avoided it, but Emily thought the stories were ridiculous.
"They're just trying to scare us,"
she had said earlier that evening, laughing as she packed a flashlight and snacks. The trail started off wide and easy to follow, but as they ventured deeper, the trees began to crowd together, their branches twisting unnaturally toward the sky. The wind whispered through the leaves, but it sounded wrong. Almost like voices, too faint to understand but eerily human.
"Did you hear that?"
Jake asked, his voice breaking the silence. Sarah stopped abruptly.
"It sounded like someone calling my name,"
she whispered, her eyes wide. Emily laughed nervously.
"It's just the wind."
But even she could feel the weight of the air, thick with something unexplainable. As they continued, their flashlight beams seemed weaker, as if the darkness was swallowing the light. The whispers grew louder, forming fragmented words. "The three Pharaohs."
"Who's watching?"
Emily whispered, but there was no answer, only the creak of a branch snapping behind them. They spun around, but the path they had come from was gone. The forest had shifted, trees standing where there had been open trail just moments ago.
"Let's get out of here,"
Ake shouted, grabbing Sarah's hand. They started running, but the forest seemed endless, twisting and turning, leading them in circles. Emily stopped abruptly.
"Wait,"
she said, her voice trembling.
"Where's Sarah?"
Jake turned, his face pale. Sarah was gone.
"Sarah!"
Emily screamed, her voice echoing in the oppressive silence. A soft giggle floated through the trees, childlike but hollow. Jake and Emily clung to each other as a figure stepped into the dim light of their flashlight. It was Sarah. Or, it looked like her. Her face was pale, her eyes black as coal. She smiled, her teeth unnaturally sharp.
"Why are you leaving?"
she asked, her voice layered with something dark and ancient.
"Run!"
Jake shouted, but as they turned, the whispers erupted into screams, and the forest came alive. Branches reached for them, the ground beneath their feet seeming to dissolve. Emily stumbled and fell, her flashlight spinning into the darkness. She looked up just in time to see Jake dragged into the shadows by something she couldn't see. And then, silence. When Emily woke up, she was alone at the edge of the forest. The sun was rising, casting an orange glow on the trees. Jake and Sarah were gone. She ran back to town, desperate for help. But when she burst into the local diner, frantic and shaking, the room went silent.
"Are you okay?"
an old man asked cautiously.
"My friends?"
Emily gasped.
"We were in the forest, and—"
The man's face grew grim.
"Child,"
he interrupted.
"no one goes into the Whispering Forest at night. Your friends. They're gone. And if you're lucky, the forest will let you live."
Emily never went near the forest again. But every night, as she tried to sleep, she swore she could still hear the whispers.